Good day, everybody. Rob Mazak here. For those of you that don't know who I am a psychic medium with a number of really cool services, and we're not really going to talk about a lot of that right now or today, or on this podcast, rather. But I wanted to kind of spend a little time on the subject of chasing your dream. Now, I just posted a little short video clip about it on my social media, but I wanted to spend a little more time on the subject and kind of dig into it a little bit more than that video that I posted, because videos take up a lot of memory and they're hard to upload. And anyway, it's easier this way, it seems. Anyway, so now I want to talk about dreams in the respect that dreams don't have to be anything like magical or monstrous or things that are super glorious per se, because some people's dreams are simply to raise kids properly and see them get off to college, and it doesn't sound like much, but it is quite a feat, right? And dreams could be very simple and they could be very complex. Some people want to go and compete and play in the NFL and be the MVP when they get there, and all these different things. And and so I think it really just comes down to what it is that you do best, what you feel makes you feel alive, makes you just fill up with joy when you do it. And going after that dream is really the dream in itself, if you ask me. Because no matter what goal or what dream you're chasing, there's not really a finish line, if you will. And really, it's about the journey. The journey is everything. And even if you reach a goal or a dream, say you do make it to the NFL and you become an active paid player in the NFL, that's really not the end goal either. Because if all your dreams are wrapped around simply making it to a team and getting paid, what's the next goal? Are you going to be the MVP? Are you going to be the best player stat-wise in the position that you play? You get my point. There's really not, I don't think there's an end point to success or dreams. And I think that's the glory of it, though. So no matter whether we reach any goal or any dream or any accomplishment, I really think it's the process that creates who we are and creates a better version of yourself. And so I'll give you my example, if you will. And I think this might help a little bit describe what I'm trying to say. And so ever since I was little, as far as I can remember or have memories of it, I've always wanted to be a big-time professional football player, right? Or a professional player, period. But when I grew up, as a kid, they're really just the main staples in at least the United States. Football, baseball, basketball. I never really played baseball, and I didn't play much basketball, but I did play football a lot. And, not past high school, unfortunately. It didn't happen, but... or unfortunately, however you want to look at it. Maybe that was part of the plan. But, we used to go out as kids and do TV catches and, and just, and really, really spin the dream. And it was a lot of fun, and maybe it was make-believe, but still, it really, I think having a dream should never really stop. And your dreams are going to change, of course, but if you have one, and you have the capability of chasing that dream, I believe you should always continue trying to do that. Of course, maybe sometimes life gets in the way. I got it. You get married, kids come along, paying the bills is more important. I understand that, but it doesn't mean you have to stop dreaming, and it doesn't mean you have to stop the idea of pursuing it. And so my story is really started when I was 47, right? 62 now. And I was a first sergeant stationed in Korea, and I was doing a lot of intramural sports, and some of my soldiers invited me out to join the soccer team. I don't think I even knew how to spell soccer then. And so I got on the field, and let me tell you what, I fell in love with soccer. Of course, I really sucked when I started. But the funny thing is, I stayed on the field. I was there all the time, every practice, every game I could possibly play, I was playing. When I came back to the States, it just got more and more intense. And I just kept on trying to learn. I never had any formal coaching for a while. And so it was all learning by trial. And then about, oh gosh, I don't know, several years into playing, I think around 50, I got thrown into the goal because the goalkeeper didn't show up one game. And let me tell you, that was a challenge. At that point in my soccer venture, career, whatever you want to call it, I was not interested in standing there. I wanted to run, right? But for some reason, I stayed back there. I mean, I stayed in the goal. I was always volunteering to go back there and learn. And it's like driving a car. You really are terrible at it for a while, and you got to pay attention to everything. And it got to the point where I was doing a lot of activities and saves and moves and things that I don't even remember doing, subconsciously processing it. And so I finally had the thought. I say, maybe I have a skill that I could possibly develop even at my age to compete as a professional. And I thought, well, this is the closest I've ever come. Why would I give up that thought? And so around 50, 51, I don't remember exactly. My memory gets a little, when you get older, and time goes by, those memories kind of squeeze together. But anyway, somewhere around 51 or so, I decided to start trying out in the open tryouts for our pro soccer team, which we finally got one in San Antonio at that point. And so I went out and I started, I went out for the next several years. And I think when I was 54, I believe it was 54, I even got interviewed by, I think it's Ken's 5, one of the news stations. And don't know if it ever aired, but it was really kind of interesting to be like a little short time, 10-minute celebrity there. And that was kind of fun. It really invigorated my my quest. And now, of course, I've never been called upon to move on past the initial open tryout portion of it. But I kept going. I just decided I was just going to keep giving it a go. What's the harm? If nothing else, it's going to make me a better player. And so it has, actually. But right before COVID came around, that fall, I believe it was. Anyway, before COVID, I went out for tryouts, and I came out in one of as somebody broke free and was coming at me at 1,000 miles an hour, to hopefully score on me. I slid, he slid, boom, and I got hurt. I don't think I've ever had so much pain in my life. I instantly ruptured my PCL on my left knee, and of course I had to leave. But stubborn old me, I was back on the club soccer team within a couple weeks and finished out the season. And so I'm one of those. Yes, I'm one of those. Anyway, then COVID came around, and I was deployed for a couple years for that and the border issues and things like that. Only within Texas, but still very intense. A lot of hours gone from home. No soccer was allowed, all that kind of stuff. Of course, they didn't even have any really going on at the time. And so, and then when I was done with that, focused on the business, and and I kept trying to play soccer, and it's just everything kept getting in the way. And so, finally this summer, I got the call. That little voice in your head that goes, "Dude, you should be back on the soccer field." So, I signed back up for college classes, back on the college club team again, and got going again. And then around the same time that I started back, I heard that little voice again. You should be out there trying out for the pro team again. And I'm like, I'm not sure why, but okay. And so I really put a lot of effort into training for my position as a goalkeeper. A lot of effort, a lot of work. I really pushed myself, and I felt like I really improved my skills. There are some things that didn't improve, but much of what I do really went up another level. I'm like, well, hey, why not? And they don't have a maximum age on the sign-ups, the registration. I'm like, well, let's do it. And so I did go out this last Friday, a few days ago, and went out there, and I had signed up to be a goalkeeper for the tryouts, and I even verified it. Am I playing in the goal? And they said, oh yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't feel like I had to train any different, even in a couple of days leading up to it. But guess what? I showed up, and my team has too many goalkeepers. There's 2 of us. And so I asked the coach, I said, so what's going on here? Am I on the wrong team? He goes, no, you guys are supposed to rotate, in and out of the goal. I'm like, oh, okay. And so this kid was like 24, I think. And so we warmed up a little bit, and he got in the goal, and the coach goes, I was just standing on the sideline waiting for my turn. He goes, no, dude, get on the field. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm thinking to myself, I haven't run the field in over 10 years. And I knew I was going to be rusty, and I'm, kind of weaning myself off of asthma through some processes, and I'm like, this might not be good. And anyway, I went out there, and I played every single position on the field. And although I was supposed to rotate with this guy, I did once, barely touched the ball because my team was really good. And this 24-year-old came to me at our break, and he goes, do you mind staying on the field because I'm gassed. I can't run like that. My first thought was, dude, I'm 62, you're 24. This should be the other way around. However, I'm like, well, thinking to myself, this kid has a lot better chance of making the team as a goalkeeper than I ever would. So I'm like, okay, just stay back there. And let me tell you, I haven't run that much in so long. And I literally played every position on the field. And everybody kept complimenting me on how well I was playing, and I don't really feel like I was playing well. And maybe it was simply the fact that they were impressed that I was an old fart out there still kicking, and maybe that's what it was about. I don't know. It still felt good to be told that I was doing well. And not as fast as I used to be, obviously. At least not for those distances. And the goal is a different thing. But anyway, we had about 30 minutes to go, I guess, in the tryouts, and I went for try to catch up with the ball for a pass that somebody sent me, or my general direction, and I was giving it all I had, and I felt and heard my hamstring pop. I'm like, oh my. This happened on the left many years ago, and it still bothers me. Anyway, it actually almost made me hit the ground. I mean, it was pretty painful. But I never ever told the coaches that I had an issue. I thought at that moment, I'm like, I've been training way too hard to walk over to the sideline and tell a coach I'm going to quit playing. That seems ridiculous. And so some of my teammates knew that I hurt myself, and they were really trying to encourage me, keep me going. They're like, hey, you only got 5 minutes, you only got 10 minutes, let's go. We got it. And so, I got some encouragement on that end. And anyway, I finished up the game, and so a lot of the players, I was talking to them afterwards and explaining that they were asking about me, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm 62, and I said, this is my 7th time out here. And they're like, what? Seriously? And I'm like, yeah, well, I was saying the same thing I'm saying here on the mic. keep chasing your dream. It doesn't matter how old you get or what's going on. As long as you can, you should. And so in those moments at the end of the game, I really felt like me going out there was not about me at all. It was really about encouraging as many people as were around me, all my teammates, and even some that I met along, on the way in and on the way out, even some of the coaches for that matter, and so I would encourage you guys to remember that chasing a dream is not always about actually getting that dream, but the process of becoming better or engaging yourself, learning, training, all those things will make you such a much better person, a much better player, a much better whatever it is you're seeking. Maybe your dream is to be the number one salesman at your organization, or salesperson, sorry. A dream doesn't have to be anything that other people think it is. It's your dream. It's what you feel you're called to do, and do the best at it than anybody else. And so, anyway, I also had a lot of fun with all the coaches. They're like, I'm coming out there every year. Obviously, I had a little gap, but I think they forgot about the gap. They're like, dude, you're out here every year. I'm like, well, yeah, this is number 7. I got 3 more in me. I said, I'm gonna make it to 10. And I even kind of joked with them. I say, I should have a special shirt next time. Number 8. I should have my own jersey, my own number. I should have a name on it, doggone it. Anyway, we'll see how that goes, right? Of course they're supposed to tell us if we move on to the next step in a couple days. But let's just face it, guys. I'm 62, and I may be decent at my positions, or my primary position, but I am probably not that level of play. But that's okay. I enjoyed my time. I had a great time. I met a lot of cool people, and I got encouraged, and other people got encouraged by my story. One guy even said, dude, I didn't realize you could come out here at that age. I'm going to convince my father to come out next time. I'm like, let's do it, right? Why not? If nothing else, going out there every year, puts money in the team's pocket. They can buy additional things, more equipment, whatever it is that they're seeking. So in a way, it's also supporting the team. Because I don't have as much time as I'd like to go just sit and watch a game. I probably need to. I should. But anyway, I just wanted to spend a little time, a few minutes, and talk to you about those dreams, guys. Don't ever give up on your dreams. You may have to put it on the shelf for a little while. It might get a little dusty. That's okay, right? But don't forget it. Like in the words of the great Les Brown, if you don't know who he is, motivational speaker. You don't want to be on your deathbed and all those dreams are staring at you with angry eyes, saying, "We believed in you, and only you could make these dreams come true. And now we have to go to the grave with you forever." And so I personally don't want that to happen. I know it's not reality, but you get my point, is that all those dreams that are put in within us, within our essence, are put there for a reason. And you can believe in a higher power or however you want to believe that, but things that we are born with, I believe there are certain things we're supposed to do, and we're supposed to do them better than anybody else, and only we can do them the way we do them. And so without our contribution to this planet, this reality, this existence, the existence is going to fall short. So let's do our part. Let's continue to chase those dreams, those goals, those mile markers, whatever you want to call them, and stay strong, live your life. See you on the other side, guys.